Hi, I'm Nate, 26, and last Tuesday, my girlfriend basically told the entire internet I was too broke to be in a relationship. Not to my face, mind you. She did it with a photo of a $500 tasting menu and a caption that read, "Why do broke men even try dating?" No tag, of course. Just vibes. But her followers knew. Her friends definitely knew. And me? I sat there in my office chair with my mouth half open, wondering if I'd actually hallucinated the last 8 months of our relationship. Let me rewind. Madison, 24, gorgeous, witty, stylish, every Instagram filter's best friend, and I met on a dating app. Hit it off immediately. First date was coffee and vinyl shopping, second was a rooftop dinner. Third was a weekend hike that turned into a mini overnight cabin trip. I paid for everything. Not because she asked. She never once demanded it. But because I was raised that way. And truth be told, I like spoiling her. I work in IT support for a medium-sized logistics firm. Nothing glamorous, but it's solid. $72,000 a year, no debt, savings account, decent credit score. Responsible. Boring, maybe, but responsible. Madison called herself a social media consultant, which mostly meant she helped boutiques and cafes build Instagram presence. $200 per client, maybe less. She lived with 2 roommates in a nice part of town, and somehow always had the newest iPhone, fresh nails, designer bags. I figured she was doing well. Over time, the reach for the purse but wait for him to pay routine became tradition. I didn't mind. Dinners, movies, her favorite concerts, even an out-of-town weekend, all me. I never said anything because I honestly thought it was just temporary. She'd always smile, kiss me on the cheek, and say, "You're the best." Every time. Then last week, she sends me a link to this new celebrity chef spot that opened downtown. "We have to go," she texts. "They do this $500 tasting menu. It's like life-changing." I click the link. Appetizers start at $60. Cocktails, $40 a pop. I'm looking at the menu thinking, okay, unless this steak comes with a house key and a hug from Gordon Ramsay himself, this is madness. So I reply, "Babe, that's a bit out of my budget right now. Maybe we can go somewhere else nice." Radio silence for 30 minutes. Then she replies, "Wow. I didn't realize you were struggling financially." I stare at the text. Struggling? Lady, you've been dining on my dime like a tax write-off for nearly a year, and now I'm struggling because I don't want to drop $1,000 on a Tuesday night? I text back, "I'm not struggling. I just don't think a $1,000 dinner is reasonable right now." She hits me with, "My ex would have made it happen. This is embarrassing." Then silence. I figure, okay, emotions are high. She's disappointed. We'll talk it out. Except I was wrong. Because 2 hours later, I get a notification from one of my buddies, a screenshot of her Instagram story. Why do broke men even try dating? If you can't afford to treat a woman, stay single and level up. This is embarrassing. There's a photo of the menu, a boomerang of champagne glasses, and the cherry on top, the comments. "Know your worth, queen. This is why I have a 3-date rule. Men really out here on a McDonald's budget wanting steak girlfriends." And I'm sitting there like, you mean me? I didn't text her. I didn't call. I didn't fight. What I did was open my banking app and go through 8 months of statements. Dinner at Luma, $210. Weekend at the cabin, $530. Movie nights, $17. $50 every other Friday. Concert tickets, Uber rides, her birthday spa voucher, that designer bag I knew was a bit much but she cried happy tears over. Every single line item, I pulled it all. Took me 2 hours, 3 screenshots, and a calculator. Grand total, $6,427. So I opened Venmo. Public setting. To Madison. Request, $6,427. Note. 8 months of dates, dinners, movies, and trips. Since I'm too broke to date properly, here's your half of our relationship expenses. Thanks for clarifying my financial situation. Sent. Then I went back to work. No fanfare. No rage. Just receipts. And within 30 minutes, my phone exploded. Not from her. From her friends. From her. From my friends. From complete strangers. Apparently, when you publicly Venmo someone for over $6,000 with an itemized breakdown of their entire freeloading history, people notice. But I wasn't ready for what came next. Because Madison didn't just call. She showed up. In the designer coat I bought her. Holding the purse I paid for. And standing on my doorstep, yelling through the Ring doorbell. "You're being emotionally abusive." That's when my neighbor opened her door and muttered the words that still make me smile. "Honey, he's not being abusive. He's setting boundaries. Now go home." And that was just the beginning. So there I am, inside my apartment, watching Madison on my Ring camera while she paces outside in the $400 designer coat I bought her for her birthday, holding the Michael Kors bag from our 6-month anniversary like she's auditioning for a revenge scene in a soap opera. She's alternating between crying and yelling. "Open the door! We need to talk! Seriously, Nate, this is insane! You're blowing this way out of proportion! You're humiliating me for one dinner!" Meanwhile, my neighbor, sweet 70-something Mrs. Gomez, who once gave me homemade empanadas for fixing her Wi-Fi, just stands there, arms folded, casually sipping tea like she's watching the live finale of a drama she's been following for weeks. "You okay, Nate?" She calls over the balcony. "All good, Mrs. G," I reply. That girl's got more nerve than a dental drill. She mutters. I couldn't argue. Madison finally storms off after 10 minutes of performing her own victimhood. I watch the Ring footage back once, just to be sure I'm not hallucinating, then I go back to my desk. I have a job, after all. IT support doesn't stop because your ex calls you broke and tries to spin it into abuse. Now let me explain something about Venmo. When you send a public payment or request, people can comment on it. Which I fully intended. So while I was back at work resetting someone's VPN access, my phone kept buzzing. Venmo comments. $6 for 27? Bro was funding a full adult adoption. This man kept receipts. My king. $1,000 tasting menu? Better come with a side of moral clarity. Madison girl, this ain't the upgrade you think it is. And then came her friends. Oh boy. Kelsey. This is abuse. Making it public like this? Financial manipulation. Ashley. Small. Dick. Energy. For real. A real man wouldn't keep track. Brittany. Imagine being this pressed over your girlfriend wanting nice things. Oh, but strangers didn't let it fly. Random stranger. Financial abuse is making someone pay for everything and then calling them broke. Another one. $6,400 in 8 months? That's a semester of college or a used Honda Civic. Third one. If a woman's presence is the prize, why is he footing the whole game? I just watched the war unfold in the comments. I said nothing. Until Madison escalated. That night, she posted a Notes app screenshot on her story. Classic PR damage control. Since someone wants to be petty and count pennies, let's talk facts. I gave this man emotional labor for 8 months. I helped him dress better. I listened to him vent about work. I decorated his boring apartment. I elevated his life. And he's mad over dinner money? A woman's presence is the prize. Some of y'all don't understand that. Then the closer. This is why I'm done dating broke, bitter men. Next. At this point, I admit I got a little petty. So I screenshotted her LinkedIn, where she listed her job as entrepreneur, social media consultant. Her website showed exactly 3 clients in the past year. Basic Squarespace template. One testimonial said, "She helped us set up a profile. Thanks." I posted that with this caption. Interesting definition of upgrading my existence from someone who made less than $3,000 this year, owns $10,000 in designer goods, and somehow thinks emotional labor pays the rent. Math ain't matting. Venmo request still up. Then I left it. Again. Quiet. Measured. Controlled burn. But Madison wasn't done. No. This wasn't just a breakup to her anymore. It was a campaign. So she decided to bring out the big guns. She called my job. Yes. My actual employer. It's 10:02 a.m. On a Wednesday when I get called into HR. My heart drops. My hands start sweating like I'm in middle school again and just got called to the principal for something my cousin did. I walk in, and Patricia, head of HR, kind woman, early 60s, has a bob haircut that doesn't move, looks up at me with an unreadable expression. "Nate," she says, "we received a complaint about you." My throat closes. She leans back in her chair. "Someone filed a complaint alleging you were engaging in harassment and financial abuse on social media." I'm frozen. Then she lifts a printed copy of the Venmo request and squints at it. "Is this about a public expense invoice?" I nod. She blinks. Then laughs. Full-on cackle. "Patricia. Okay. I'm required to investigate, but honestly, this is the pettiest nonsense I've ever seen. Is this real?" I show her the Instagram post that started it all. The comments. The messages. The notes app apology. The financial breakdown. Patricia. "Yeah, you're good. Just maybe don't turn the company's Slack into a courtroom." Fair enough, Patricia. But Madison? Oh no. She wasn't done. Next up, a cease and desist letter. From a Gmail address. Subject line, cease and desist, harassment and defamation. It demanded I take down the Venmo post. Pay $5,000 in damages. Issue a public apology. It was signed Samantha Green, ESQ. Legal representative for Madison, redacted. I forwarded it to my cousin, who is a real lawyer. He laughed for 5 minutes. "This isn't legal," he said. "It's not even formatted right. No address. No bar number. No firm. It's a friend in a wig with a Gmail account." So I posted that to my story. Now I'm getting fake legal threats via Gmail. The entitlement is truly endless. Still waiting on that Venmo payment, though. The Gmail was deleted within hours. I was starting to think that was the finale: fake lawsuits, HR calls, digital drama. Until I got a DM from someone unexpected. Her name? Taylor. Madison's roommate. And what Taylor told me? That's when the real unraveling began. Taylor's message came in like a lightning bolt mid-battle, quiet, precise, and devastating. Taylor, DM? Hey, I know we don't really know each other, but I thought you should know some things. Madison hasn't paid rent in 2 months. She owes me and our other roommate over $3,200 total. She keeps saying her business is about to take off. Now I see where her money was actually coming from. I'm sorry this happened to you. I stared at my screen. $3,200 in unpaid rent while she was pressuring me into a $1,000 dinner. Meanwhile, I'm over here scrolling DoorDash looking for BOGO sushi rolls like a sucker. I wrote back. Me. Wait. She hasn't paid rent, at all? Taylor. Nope. But she has a new designer bag every month. We were seriously about to kick her out. Honestly, I feel stupid. She's been using your money to keep up appearances while screwing over everyone else. Then she added the dagger. Taylor. And the worst part? This isn't the first time. Boom. Turns out Taylor had been suspicious for a while. The luxury items, the constant. My client ghosted me. Excuses, the sudden bursts of money, and then none at all. But what she didn't know, and what I was now holding on to like Excalibur, was that I wasn't alone in this. Because the very next day, I got a message from Marcus. As in, Madison's ex Marcus, DM. Bro, I've been waiting 2 years for someone else to see through her BS. Can we talk? We met for beers the next night. Marcus was a tall, tired-looking guy in his early 30s. He wore a wrinkled hoodie and the expression of a man who's seen some things. We sat at a dive bar downtown, and the moment he pulled out a manila folder full of printed receipts, I knew we were kindred spirits. Turns out, Madison had done this exact same thing to him. They dated for over a year. He paid for everything, rent, gifts, even helped fund her business by buying her a Canon camera she pawned a week later. Marcus's story was a mirror image of mine. Generous guy, stable income, thought he was helping his girlfriend chase her dreams, until he couldn't fund a $5,000 vacation to Tulum, and she ghosted him with a long caption about financial toxicity and emotional drain. But he didn't just bring stories. Marcus brought proof. He showed me screenshots from a group chat. The name of the chat? Securing the Bag Money Bag. 12 women. All influencers. All posting tips and strategies for milking men they dated. And right there, bold as hell, was Madison. If he's not spending at least $500 a month on you, find a new one. Men are replaceable. Your lifestyle isn't. Another gem. He just paid for my nails, my brunch, and a new phone case. I'm gonna stretch this one until summer. But the one that made my blood boil. A message dated 1 week before the infamous broke men post. He's starting to push back on expensive dinners. Time to find the next one. This one's only good for about $800 a month now. Her friend replied, Girl, maintain until you find a replacement. Never leave money on the table. Madison responded, True. I'll keep him around another month. Then bounce. That's how she saw me. Not as a boyfriend. Not even as a person. Just a utility. A monthly stipend. I asked Marcus, Would you be okay with me posting these? He didn't even blink. Absolutely. She did it to me. She'll do it again. Someone's gotta stop the pattern. So that night, I posted 3 screenshots from the group chat, names blurred but messages crystal clear. The caption. Turns out I wasn't broke. I was just the current ATM. To anyone else funding someone's lifestyle while being called cheap? Keep your receipts. You deserve better. Boom. It blew up. Twitter caught it. Reddit caught it. TikTok caught it. The Venmo post? Now had 2,000 plus likes and hundreds of comments, people adding their own relationship invoices like it was a trend. Madison's world began to crumble fast. Taylor went public too. This explains why you haven't paid rent in 2 months, but have new designer items. We're done. Kelsey, her ride-or-die friend. I've been defending someone who was using all of us. I paid for her drinks last week because she said she was waiting on client payments. I'm sick. Ashley and Brittany unfollowed her. A few others reposted the group chat leaks and said they felt grossed out and used. But the biggest bomb? Someone leaked the full chat. 12 women. Multiple of them had posted about empowerment and financial independence, while actively scamming men behind the scenes. One of them got fired from her job. Turns out she worked in HR and had used company mixers to hunt for guys who look like they don't check their credit card statements. Another lost a brand deal. 2 went radio silent. Madison? She tried one last Hail Mary. She posted a tearful video on Instagram, claiming she was being targeted by misogynistic exes collaborating to destroy women. She called me and Marcus. And Kels with abandonment issues. She insisted the screenshots were faked and manipulated. Except the timestamps were intact. The profile pictures matched. The writing style? Identical. And people didn't buy it. Her Instagram following dropped from 8K to 2K in 3 days. She made her account private. Her business website? Deactivated. That consulting empire she bragged about. Gone. Taylor messaged me a week later. Taylor. She moved back to her parents' house. Told them she was taking a break from the toxic city energy. Truth is, she can't afford rent anywhere. She burned every bridge in town. The Venmo request? Still up. Still unpaid. Now memorialized. Every few days someone new comments. $6 for 27, the price of a master class in boundaries. Bro built an invoice empire from heartbreak. Legend. Show us your unpaid emotional invoices. It became a meme. A movement, almost. And me? I was free. That $800 a month I used to spend on her? Going into savings now. I bought myself a gaming PC. Booked a short trip to Denver. Even started dating again. Eliza, cute, works in graphic design. We met at a tech networking event. First date? Coffee. When the check came, she reached first and said, "Want a split?" I almost cried. I never thought I'd be the guy who went viral for Venmo his ex. But here we are. By the time summer hit, the payment had cleared, the memes had faded, and life, beautiful, ordinary life, had settled into something steady. I wasn't Nate, the invoice guy, anymore. I was just Nate. Well, Nate with a fully paid off moral debt and a framed PayPal receipt above his desk like it was the freaking Mona Lisa. And Eliza? Still here. Still rolling her eyes every time someone recognized me at the coffee shop. Yes, that happened. More than once. There was a moment in July. We were at the farmer's market, tasting local honey, because we're insufferably wholesome now, and a guy in a fedora walked past, did a double take, then pointed and said, "Yo! The Venmo King!" I winced. Eliza snorted. We got a free jar of honey out of it. But more than the attention, more than the money, more than the memes and mini movements, I started to realize the quiet power of what had happened. I'd changed. Not just my relationship status. Not just my wallet. Me. The guy who used to over-apologize. Who swallowed resentment like vitamins. Who picked up checks and dropped his needs in the same motion. That guy? Gone. What came in his place? Boundaries. Clarity. And the freedom that comes from saying, I don't owe you more than I can afford to give, emotionally or otherwise. I finally told my parents the full story one night over dinner. My dad blinked, then asked, You itemized it? Like I just pitched him a business idea. My mom sipped her wine and said, Next time, just date someone with a job. Thanks, Mom. Eliza and I weren't perfect. But we were even. We split rent when she moved in. I covered groceries some weeks. She handled utilities. We had a spreadsheet. Color-coded tabs. Budget meetings that ended with takeout and cuddles. Love, but responsible. One night, she walked into my office and found me staring at the PayPal frame again. You ever gonna take that down? She asked. I thought about it. Nah, I said. It reminds me. Of her? No. Of me. The guy who finally showed up for himself. She smiled and said, Well, your co-pay for that therapy breakthrough is due. Dinner's on you. Fair enough. The Discord group, Recovering ATMs, is still running. Over 3,000 members now. People still post screenshots of their exes, but more often than not, it's about recovery. One guy posted a photo of his first solo apartment. Caption. Bought my own couch. No one's crying on it but me now. And only sometimes. Another posted a screenshot of his dating profile bio. Looking for emotional equity. Must love dogs and have a job. Progress. The thing about boundaries is that once you set them, people either rise to meet you or vanish trying to duck under them. And the people who vanish? Good. Let them. You don't need everyone to clap for your healing. You just need to stop applauding your own mistreatment. There's no plaque for this. No trophy. Just peace. And let me tell you, peace is underrated. The last DM I ever got about the Venmo post came from a total stranger. At the Real Greg 1995. Yo bro. Sent my ex a $280 invoice for emotional trauma and late night rides. She blocked me. But I feel amazing. I replied. Proud of you. Blocked is free therapy. My final update on the saga came one lazy Sunday morning, 6 months to the day after I hit send. On that fateful request. I logged into Venmo, scrolled to the very bottom, and wrote. Request closed. Total collected, $6,427. Total peace achieved, immeasurable. Then I closed the app. Not out of spite. Not out of victory. Out of completion. Because this story, wild as it was, wasn't about revenge. It was about value. About saying, I count. My time counts. My money counts. My heart counts. Madison taught me that, accidentally. And for that I'm grateful. I'll never get those 8 months back. But I got something better. Me. Clear-eyed. Loved. Whole. And maybe, just maybe, a little wiser. So the next time someone asks, What happened to that Venmo guy? I just smile and say, He got paid. In full. And he never stopped keeping the receipts.